I'd like to move now on a little bit to topics beyond your book. So we have been talking in this episode, obviously, about polars a lot, which is a popular Python package. But another Python package that is really taking off recently is UV. And so it's a Python package and project manager that climbed from 0 GitHub stars to I actually don't have the number in front of me right now, but a very large number. Lots of people are talking about UV. And it is exceeded poetry as another longtime favorite for package management. So, Thijs, in a blog post, you mentioned ditching poetry for UV. You talk about increased speed, reliability, and ease of use as the reasons for that. Do you want to tell us more about UV, poetry, and whether people should be calling it of?
Gladly. Yeah, so this is also one of the things that we decided to do for the book. We started out with poetry and did all the version management of Python versions with PyEnv and other tools around it. But ultimately, when we were prepping the repo that can be used by the readers of the book, that contains all the different the notebooks that come with the chapters, so you can follow the chapters along and execute the code yourself, play around with it. Obviously, you need to set up an environment easily that can work on many different systems that all your readers might have. So in the beginning, we were thinking maybe to go for Docker, because that generally is the easiest way to make something run on different kinds of configs. But as we were writing the book, UV became bigger. And at one point, I just started experimenting a little bit with UV to see how easy it is to set up. And it boiled down to installing UV and then running UV sync, and it sets up everything. It sets up the right Python version. It just finds the right dependencies for your system. Everything just clicks. So that's ultimately what we went for as the final solution for that repo, to allow people to just install UV and just make it work. And one of the reasons I started playing around with UV was mostly because it goes with the trend of the Rust-based tooling, which shows that very much like the performance of tooling is a feature in itself. It's one of the things that Polars showcases, and it clicked very well. Like UV has the same kind of thing going for it. Also the Rust-based tooling, which is leagues faster. It can be more than 10 times faster. That combined with a single command setup just made it a very quick and easy win.
Maybe you can say a few things about the regression that you found in Polars, where you came in handy.
Yeah, so at some point, UV is so fast that you can, on the fly, set up an environment, like an ephemeral environment that's just set up for just that command and then torn down again.
Whoa.
And with that, I was playing around with that to benchmark the different versions of Polars to see what the speed is on different queries, different kind of setups. And iterating over the versions and just bumping it every time to see what happened. At one point I found, I think in version 1.2 point something, that there was suddenly a regression. That the queries started taking 10% longer, like to run the full benchmark. And it didn't really go down again. And drilling down, we were able to pinpoint the 2 specific queries of the benchmark that we were running just spiked up on a certain version. And because UV just sets it up so quickly, at one point with a script for git bisect, which allows you to pinpoint the exact commit version in the Polars repo where it started occurring, allowed us to find which specific commit caused this regression. And funny enough, when I communicated it to the Polars guys in that week, they hit the same code, and for some reason, like they couldn't quite figure out quickly what exactly caused it, but they hit the same code and refactored it, and it resolved itself. So ultimately, all was good. But it was interesting to finally have a package manager that was able to be used so quickly that you can start using it for complete new use cases that you couldn't have thought of before.
Nicely said. Yeah, very cool. I haven't been using UV myself yet, but it sounds like I should be.
I can definitely recommend it.